Hey guys, so for today's reading lesson, we're going to start off with some vocabulary words, and I'm going to do things just a little bit differently today, but hopefully it'll just be easier for you to complete this assignment. So we'll see how this goes. It won't be like this every day, but I just wanted to change it up for today. So let's not worry about how it's going to change. Let's first start with our vocabulary words. So this first word is disguise. So everyone say disguise. Disguise. That is an outfit that helps to change your appearance or hide who you really are. A disguise. We did not recognize Sam because of the glasses and wig he used as a disguise. So disguise is something you wear if you don't want to be recognized. A disguise. All right, the next word is fleece. Right here, F-L-E-E-C-E, fleece. So everyone say fleece. A fleece is a sheep's coat of wool. A sheep's coat of wool. The sheep farmer carried the fleece to the market. So the fleece is the outside part of the sheep, like the very soft, fluffy part of a sheep. That is the sheep's coat of wool, is the fleece. And then our next vocabulary word is flock. So everyone say flock. This is a group of animals or birds. A flock is a group of animals or birds. Judy could hear a flock of geese flying over her house. Sometimes we go outside and we see a bunch of geese flying in the sky, and that is called a flock of geese, a flock. A group of animals or birds. So let's say our next word out loud. Everyone say pretend. I think a lot of us know what this word is, pretend. This is to try to be or act differently than what you actually are. I think it is fun to pretend to be different characters that I have read about in books. Pretending, pretend. To pretend to be something that you're not. To try to be or act differently than what you are normally. To pretend. Now let's say the word prowled. Prowled. Walked or moved around quietly in search of prey to eat. You prowled around. The new kitten prowled underneath the birdcage. So think about when a kitten kind of sneaks up on a bird. They walk and move slowly and quietly to try to get something real quick. They're proud. They're prowling around. Proud. All right, so those are our words for this story, our vocabulary words. We had disguise, fleece, flock, pretend, and proud. So the story today is The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. That is the title. The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. And this is our little illustration here. It's kind of scary, isn't it? That wolf looks very mean, like he's up to no good. All right, so our title again, The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. So before we start, think about what that title's telling us. What do you think the wolf might do in the story, just based on the title? The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. So maybe the wolf is going to wear something that the sheep normally wear. Maybe he's going to be in a disguise to try to be sneaky. Let's see. All right. Night after night, a wolf prowled. The wolf walked sneakily and silently around a flock of sheep, looking for one of them to eat. But the shepherd and his dogs always chased him away. But one day the wolf found the skin of a sheep that had been thrown aside. He pulled the skin carefully over him so that none of his fur showed under the white fleece. Then he strolled and walked slowly and calmly among the flock in this disguise. The shepherd, thinking that the wolf was one of his sheep, allowed the wolf to graze on the lush grass in the pasture and even let him sleep in the warm barn with the sheep. For many days and nights the wolf ate and slept better than he ever had. But one day the shepherd decided to sell one of his flock at the market. The shepherd needed to choose one of his sheep to sell. He chose the biggest, fattest sheep he could find and brought that sheep into town. Can you guess who it was? It was the wolf. Oh no, so the wolf was brought into town to be sold. So, what is the moral of our story? Things are not always as they seem. If you pretend to be what you are not, you might end up losing in the end. So, do you remember what the wolf dressed up as? He dressed up as one of the sheep, right? And he was trying to be sneaky. And I think it's because he wanted to try to eat one of the sheep or something, right? Well, I don't think his plan worked out in the end, did it? What happened at the very end? The shepherd boy picked him out as the best looking sheep and then sold him away. So he didn't even have a chance to try to have any sheep for dinner. Okay, so you have some questions that you're going to answer. Let me go ahead and pull those up. So you have two choices. So if you have a parent or sibling around that normally helps you, you can get them to listen to your two choices. We have 4 questions here. You can answer them in a video, just telling me about your answer, or you can write down each of your answers. It's up to you. But if you do write down your answers, you need to title your paper this. If you're going to record a video of your answers, just talking to me, just title your video this as well whenever you post it on Class Dojo. But I'll go ahead and read each question to you real quick. Number 1 says, why does the wolf prowl around a flock of sheep? Number 2, at the beginning of this fable, is the wolf able to get any of the sheep? Why or why not? Think about why he wasn't able to get any sheep and maybe what the shepherd boy was doing. Number 3, what does the wolf do so that he can be with the sheep? What does he end up doing? And then number 4, do you think the wolf's plan was smart and clever after all? Why or why not? Why do you think it's smart and clever, or why do you not think it's smart and clever? So you get to answer these questions in a video, or you can write down all of your answers. If you do write down your answers, you can pause the video right here. But if you're just going to do a video, you can have a parent take a picture of your screen. You can have them write down the questions, and they can ask you the questions while you're being recorded on video, so it's easier for you to answer. But if I were you, I would go ahead and re-listen to the whole story just to make sure you remember everything, and then go ahead and answer your questions in a video. It'll go a lot quicker if you do a video. But if you want to stick around, I will read the story one more time to you. Otherwise, you are done and you can go record your video or write down all of your answers. So let me read it one more time. The title is The Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Night after night, a wolf prowled. The wolf walked sneakily and silently around a flock of sheep looking for one of them to eat. But the shepherd and his dogs always chased him away. But one day the wolf found the skin of a sheep that had been thrown aside. He pulled the skin carefully over him so that none of his fur showed under the white fleece. Then he strolled and walked slowly and calmly among the flock in this disguise. The shepherd, thinking that the wolf was one of his sheep, allowed the wolf to graze on the lush grass in the pasture and even let him sleep in the warm barn with the sheep. For many days and nights the wolf ate and slept better than he ever had. But one day the shepherd decided to sell one of his flock at the market. The shepherd needed to choose one of his sheep to sell. He chose the biggest, fattest sheep he could find and brought that sheep into town. Can you guess who it was? It was the wolf. And remember, the moral of the story is things are not always as they seem. If you pretend to be what you are not, you might end up losing in the end. So always be truthful to who you are. Never try to be something you're not. All right, so that's the end of that story. So now you can go ahead and answer these questions. You can write down your answers, or you can send me a video. All right, just message me if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.